are you this week?
I'm doing okay. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. Um, I just pulled up the scenario, and I see you've joined here.
hmm
And four blocks. What is
So,
this?
so, so let me ask you something.
Yeah,
Do, do you know that guy?
which
That
guy?
that guy who he just keeps going on about scoring 6 touchdowns in high school football in one game that won him the championship, and he's just living on past glories, and he just won't shut up about it.
You mean
And you're
you,
just waiting for the day when someone takes him down a peg.
you mean like Al Bundy?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, with that great
yeah. Well,
that great football game against Jefferson High.
that's right. Well. Let me introduce you to the Spartans, the Al Bundys of ancient Greece,
Can we call them?
who
I
have
guess we
been
can, right?
yeah, who have been coasting on their reputation for quite some time now. And here in July of 371 BC, at the Battle of Lucretia, actually, that's probably not how you say it, but they're finally gonna get bopped in the nose.
Okay, go
So,
on.
so let's go back a few years before this, when Spartan Sparta first tasted defeat at the hands of Thebes in the Battle of Tegeria.
Okay,
See, it's easy to think about. We think these days Greece, little country in the Mediterranean, but you know, back then Greece is the center of the whole world, and it's not one united Greece. It's all of these little city-states. It's Thebes, it's Sparta, it's Athens, Macedonia, all vying for power on the Grecian peninsula, which kind of looks like, if you imagine, a big C, right?
right.
So up on the top part of the sea, at the very tip, you've got Delphi, and then kind of going across the tops, you have Thebes, and then towards the center, where it's coming down, that's Athens, and then the big tail, that's Sparta.
Okay.
So that's a basic geography of Greece. So um, after Thebes sort of, kind of asserted itself a little bit, and handed Spartan their first defeat, kind of tarnishing their reputation a little bit. It emboldened them a little
Hmm.
bit to reform what they were calling the Boeotian League.
Okay.
Basically, it's all the little city states up there in that upper part of the sea. You know,
Right.
trying to assert their independence. Their own influence. Um, and at first, Athens is all on board because hey, they don't like Sparta as much as anybody else. So they're happy to see them get their cans kicked. But
Would
Thebes
would
starts
we
to
would we call them frenemies, perhaps?
maybe,
Enemies at sometimes, but friends of convenience, perhaps,
but
maybe?
as Thebes and the Boeotian League's influence spreads a little bit, they start to cause a little bit of concern amongst the Athenians.
Sure.
So a little bit of fighting breaks out amongst the in the Grecian peninsula. Um, till around the early 371 BC, when they finally decide to call a peace conference down in Sparta.
Hmm.
So Athens, Sparta, Thebes there, Macedonia, even the Persians are there for some reason, probably to cause mischief.
Of course.
Um, but eventually, they agree that peace is in everyone's best interest, and they agree to a peace treaty.
How'd that go?
Well, the next day, when it comes time to sign said peace treaty, um, Epaminondas,
I
probably
the way
can't.
I was working on it before, it's I go Epaminondas. Epaminondas. It's very sing-songy. Epaminondas.
Well, anyway, he's there, and he wants to sign the treaty not just for Thebes, but on behalf of the whole Boeotian League.
Okay.
Well, this does not sit well with Sparta because
You're,
they don't want to give Thebes that kind of influence, to say that they can speak for all of these city-states. They say, well, no, you were just signing for yourself. The other city-states will sign for themselves. You can't sign for them. So he turns it right in their face and goes, well, then why are you signing on behalf of the Peloponnesian League? Shouldn't they sign for themselves? So this just pisses Sparta off, and they kick Thebes out of the conference and strike them from the treaty.
Wow.
So there you go. All of that down the tubes, and it's war. So Epaminondas,
Yeah, you had it. That was it. Perfect.
rushes back to Thebes because he knows up in the Delphi area, which is, if you remember, if we're envisioning this sea,
Right.
the Spartans have an army up there led by Cleombrotus. Cleombrotus, yes, Cleombrotus. So Cleo, let's call him Cleo.
Sure. Call me now.
He's up there campaigning, and as soon as he gets word of this, he's going to bring his armies charging down into Thebes. So Epaminondas rushes back. Now the Thebians, they have some of the mountain passes already blockaded, but the Spartans come down through the south along the coast and immediately establish a foothold and set up camp at Leuctra, which is about 10 miles away from Thebes. So all the Thebians are in their city debating what their response to be. And most of them want to wait it out, let the Spartans come to them and fight them in their walled city.
Okay.
But Epaminondas is like, no, I'm tired of listening to these guys and their crap, and I kicked a guy in the pit and said, this is Sparta. I'm over it. Let's just go out there and kick him in the nards.
And they sound a wee bit Scottish too.
Yeah. So that's what they do. He convinces them to go ahead and meet them on the field of battle.
Okay.
So, of course, the Spartans think this is playing right into their hands because the Spartans outnumber them greatly. They have, over 10,000 hoplites to 6,000 Theban hoplites. The Thebans have a little bit more cavalry than the Spartans do.
Mm-hmm.
They have 1,500 to 1,000 cavalry units. But, of course, Sparta has their reputation. And even the Thebans, most of the Thebans are like, oh, come on, man, this is Sparta. You saw that movie. They move in slow motion and kick guys in the balls. We can't beat these guys.
Right.
But Epaminondas is like, no, I'm tired of it. So, typically, in these battles, everyone kind of does things, and we've seen this before in a lot of our battles, where everyone's expected to line up and fight in the same way that they've been doing for years. And that's what the Spartans do. They line up in their line. They sort of put their elite troops on the right, and typically they expect their opponents to mirror this with their elite units on their right, so you're almost forming like this little bit of a yin-yang look to your lines.
Sure, right.
Well, Epaminondas is like, no, screw that. He stacks his left flank with all of his best troops, including a crack unit called the Sacred Band, led by his buddy Pelopidas. Probably screwing his name up too. So, and at first the Spartans don't really realize it because they don't really see the depth of the Theban ranks, which unfortunately means that the rest of the Theban ranks are very thin. So if this doesn't work, they're screwed.
Yeah. Right.
But so both forces had their cavalries out in front, and both cavalries clash. Now, even though the Spartan cavalry is supposedly high and mighty, the Thebans actually beat the Spartan cavalry because they outnumber them, and I think we're seeing that represented here with 2 blocks versus 1.
Right.
And this causes the Spartan cavalry to retreat through those Spartan lines, causing a bit of disarray on their left flanks. That's when the Thebes push down with their left flank. And we're seeing it here with 2 blocks of heavy, but this is a rank 50 deep of soldiers, where typically these are ranks of, I think, like 20 or 30.
Right.
And it really isn't until they're almost right up into the Spartan face in their face that they realize what's happening. and then they panic. But by then it's too late. The Thebans just grind that right flank, which contains all of the Spartan elites, all the Spartan officers, and just grinds them under their heel.
Hmm.
As soon as that happens, the rest of that Spartan line just breaks and runs, and Thebes wins the day.
Wow.
Um, and Clemumbrotus here, he won't survive this historically.
Right.
The rest of the Spartans will watch him fall, and that will be what causes the panic. And this will pretty much break the mystique of Spartan excellence in Greece.
Wow.
This will be the end of Sparta, and this will be the beginning of the rise of Thebes as the central power in Greece. In the end, in this fight, over 1,000 Spartans will lose their lives, with barely 120 or so Thebians in return.
Wow.
So it'll be a pretty crushing defeat.
Man.
So we will see if history will repeat itself, or if we can change the fates here for these brave soldiers.
Well, that was an excellent prelude that sets it up so perfectly. And for all of your, for all of that saying that, oh, you don't like this, I hate this, I don't want to do this. Excellent. That was perfect. What I did notice, I did kind of look ahead. I saw that this week with Leuctra and next week, these two scenarios are both Thebes versus Spartans. So this is these are the, I guess, online they call them the Spartan hegemony. So these and we will see them face off again next week. So these two are a nice little encapsulation, and then beyond that we will move into the Macedonian stuff. But this was I think 100 years forward from where we left off with everything.
And that's certainly what I'm noticing about this expansion is, whereas before we seem to be going through a linear progression.
Right.
Here we're just skipping around to different battles. It's almost like the highlights.
Yes. I mean, they have a central theme, or central Thebe, if you will. Well, but yeah, these two, I think, obviously they dovetail in together because of the Sparta and Thebes are fighting for dominance, and then. But what caught my eye, I mean, just circling back around to where we started, this was 4 blocks, man. I mean, this is like having a Michelin chef who is world renowned, and he comes and he offers to cook you this sumptuous 5-course meal, and he sends out the amuse-bouche, and that's all you get. And I mean, your explanation is going to take more time than 4 blocks, I think.
Well, but understanding what happens historically, I understand why it is 4 blocks. Because really, the battle is just happening here on the right side of our screen.
Right.
It's just those two elite blocks that kind of come together, get crushed, and the rest of this stuff is inconsequential. These two lines in the center and the left never really do anything. The Theban right flank and middle flank advance very slowly because they are very thin. The Spartan left flank, they're just allies, and again, they're watching all of their commanders and their elite forces just get ground to paste. And they're already trying to reform their lines after the cavalry runs through it, so they're in a bit of disarray. So I understand why it's just 4 blocks, because really the fight is just here on the right flank.
Now the question is, will our knowledge of history, along with the cards that we get, cause us to be overly conservative or overly defensive with our units in order to protect them, as to not give away 4 easy blocks? I suspect that yes, but it will. I mean, we certainly have plenty of resources to work with on that flank, but it is no fun to just go through and then soften you up, and then immediately you hammer me back, and then it's over before anything gets going. So I'm wondering if there's going to be a little bit of maneuver here to set things up differently than historically. But
and the cards always dictate the
of course. Well, let's take a look at the the War Council here for the scenario. This is Leuctra 371 BC. Once again, I will start with the Thebans, so I will start on the top there, and I will get to move first with my 6 command cards. Peter will get the Spartans! They are Sparta! And he will get 5 command
After
cards.
this.
You're right, yeah. Not for long, yeah.
So,
And
as the Thebians, you'll get to command the Sacred
the
Band of
Sacred
Thebes.
Band, yes. Basically, it is a leader unit or a leader influenced unit without actually having a leader attached to it.
Yeah, that's essentially what it is. It's like a unit with a leader that doesn't actually have a leader in it.
Right. With a little taste of yeah, that's basically it. Even the ignoring flag, that's kind of like a warrior unit as well, but having the bonus of the leader
like
symbol.
leader.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
they're a leader that can't influence anybody around them.
Exactly.
So, I mean, that already sets up that side of the board.
Sure.
You've got those mediums and auxilia and those other heavies all around. Epimadonis.
Right. EpiPen. There you go.
Yeah.
So, and we don't have any terrain to sweat out tonight, so this, as you say, is going to be a clarion call straight to battle, and when the dust settles, it will probably be 10 minutes. I bet. If I had looked ahead and planned for this, well, then we could have played 2 scenarios tonight. But that's all right. This is good.
We're already got a few in the can. That's not to spoil
I don't know
that.
what you're talking about.
Sometimes we have played more than 2 battles
True.
at one time
True.
because they've either been short or we've just felt the burning need to keep on playing.
And because it's hurricane season in 2020, hooray! Anyway, well then I'm going to go ahead and draw up my cards.
Okay.
I will get my 6 command. I'm going to stretch that window out a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And show the folks at home there the number 6. And I can go first. Well, gosh. Let's do this. We'll do 2 in the center. And, well, I'm itching to use these cavalry, so I think I will.
Well, then you would be repeating history, my friend.
All right. Well, you figure they got to go forward and screen a little bit and clash swords with your medium cavalry, so let's do that. We will start with this one here attacking that cavalry unit, and I will get 3 dice as usual. Here goes.
All right.
First blood will be struck, I hope. Yes, 1 hit.
I'll respond in kind.
With 1 hit.
And 1 hit myself.
All right, and then the next unit. See if you can finish him. 3 dice. 1 more hit.
Return.
Nothing. Okay. All right, so a little bit of skirmishing there, the horsies. Back to you.
Exciting, wasn't it?
Oh, my heart can't take it. Okay, well then we'll do a little more maneuvering ourselves. We'll do 2 on the left, and we'll bring forward like that. Okay. Back to you.
I'm going to use that before they're dead.
Nice.
Just have one cavalry unit. Go ahead. That. Here.
With 4.
Attack that target with 4 dice.
Okay.
hit, but 2
Oh
retreats.
boy. So hit and then retreat. 1, 2, 3, and oh no, we have to retreat again. 1 and dead. So that was very effective. Apparently, I can't. Here we go. All right, nicely done. Are they going for more?
Got the half. Well, like I said, only got the 1 unit, so might as well use it while I can.
That's sure.
So here we go. 4 more dice.
Okay.
There we go. There's
All right, 3 dice back, and that takes him out. Well, as you indicated, the cards will dictate, so let us repeat history with double time. And we'll do that. And they will go right to there,
mm,
bringing the noise and or the funk. All right. We will start with the Sacred Band here, going after your mediums. And they will
okay.
get 4 dice with leader bonus. 2 hits.
All right. 4 dice coming back with leader bonus. 3 hits.
Okay. Very
And
nice.
as the sacred band, you can ignore that flag. So
I will, I think, take that retreat. Okay. I'll move down the line here, and heavies will attack the mediums, attempting to finish them. 5 dice with leader bonus. That will wipe them out.
okay.
Um,
Have these can advance if you want.
I could advance, but I'm going to hold there. This medium unit will go after this medium unit with 4 dice plus leader bonus. And I get 3 hits and a retreat. There it is, the D-1 or X-1.
All right. 4 dice coming back. I will not retreat. And I'll get you
Nice.
for 3.
Alright, 3 hits. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. And then Epimendon Epinanon. Ah, see now I got it. I had it all this time. Eponym don't hurt yourself, right? Epaminondas. There we go. Epaminondas. Hey, Epaminondas. Alright. He will go after that medium unit. See if he can finish.
A special soundboard of just all the
I know, right?
that we can just play when we have to say their name.
That's right. Alright, 5 dice, leader bonus. He gets him.
Wow. Okay then. You're dead.
Alright, so now he will advance and see if he can go after Cleombrotos. Cleombrotos. 5 dice, leader bonus. And that is a wipe out. I believe that was a 6-minute game.
And let's see if history repeats itself. It does not.
Okay. Well, yeah, I was dealt that double time card, and once I got that other medium into play, I figured, well, that's the time to use it. So
There we go. 3 rounds. I think that's our fastest
I
game.
think it is. Yes, it is. Okay. Well, then I don't even think we need a break. Let's just let's
Reset and go
reset.
again.
Okay. So what do you? I mean, there's nothing even to really discuss on that one. It just happened.
Yeah. all my cards were all left flank cards.
I do remember.
I had one heavy card, so I thought if I could survive this, maybe I'll do something. But yeah, I mean this is a quick crushing defeat historically, and
Right.
that's what we're seeing here.
I think, and if you want to resync to me, I'm all ready to go. When I looked at it on the commandsandcolors.net site, that it was something like 79% Thebes, 21% Spartans, just based on all the plays that had been logged. So it seems like historically, I mean, or they are set up to match that historically. But cards certainly are influence. 2, 3, 4, 5 for me. All right, let's see if you could do the same. Uh, marking the time at and let's see. I think if we start right about now, we will see how long we go.
Now I will repeat history. 3 units in the center.
Sure.
So those 3. The cavalry down. Medium down. And I will attack.
Attack.
The cavalry. And cause 1 wound.
Okay.
Bit of deja vu.
And we get 3 back. Nothing.
Following up with a hit and a retreat.
Yes, that will do on that.
Hit. There we go. This is a bit more historically accurate.
And blocked. And dead. Not a lot of great options this time, but that's also, as you said, they're spread out and they're not really cohesive. I guess then what I will do is activate 2 on the left. And move these 2 up. Alright. So the maneuvering begins. Back to you.
I think I'll respond to that in kind. I can move 2.
I will do 2 in the center then. Be these 2. They go there.
We've already lasted longer than our last game.
I know, right? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Numbers. Medium troops. Equal to command. So, I've got a command of 6. Okay. Medium cavalry attacking the auxilia.
All right.
3 dice. Actually, let's attack this auxilia in the center.
Okay.
1 hit. 2 hits.
Yep. Coming back with 3 dice. Nothing.
And 3 dice from the second cap unit. 2 retreats. So you can ignore 1.
We
take together.
I'll ignore 1 and take that one. And you can, of course, pursue if you wish.
I can. I think I will. And I will persecute the same unit. So 3 dice against the auxilia.
That will take them.
That will finish.
Okay.
Oran, you're right.
Yes. Spring the trap here.
is trapping who?
Yes. Cleombrotus will attack your medium cavalry.
Okay. I'll be.
Okay. So 5 dice with triangles only. That was a good evade. Okay. And then we'll go after that. Same. 4 dice with green circle, or excuse me, triangles only. Yeah, a little better. And that is all. Ah, here it comes.
Or on the left. Javelin at Cleombrotus and his heavies. To no effect.
Into a leadership any section. And of course, it will be them. So I'm down a couple blocks. So I need to see if I can score some cheap hits. I'll throw a spite spear at your blocked cavalry there. See if we can't do something. 1 die. Nothing. Okay. Medium will go against Epaminondas. And 4 dice plus leader bonus. Pausing for first strike. Okay. Here goes. 4 dice. Ooh, 3 hits and a retreat.
Wow. As tempting as it would be to fight back, I think I'm going to take the retreat.
Okay. Then Cleombrotus will go after these auxilia here with 5 dice plus leader. And get 1 hit, 1 retreat. Okay. Gosh. Do not be foolish, Cleombrotus. Do not. Yeah, you're already in a good position to counter-strike, but we're at full strength, so I'm going to hold there.
2 on the left. Those 2.
Mm-hmm.
Over 1.
Ah, guarding the king.
The Sacred Band will attack those mediums. 4 dice. 3 hits.
With leader bonus, no less, but did not factor. 4 dice back with leader bonus. 1 hit and a retreat which you may ignore.
The heavies, the meanwhile, will clash with the Spartan hoplites.
Mm-hmm.
5 dice with leader bonus.
Wiping them out. Utterly. Alright, nicely done. Okay, so let's see if Cleombrotus will be your coup de grace. 1 die. Here's He's okay. So he falls back. Very interesting situation.
This is a
Okay.
very lopsided scenario.
That's okay. We're gonna make it work. We're gonna activate these three. Um, we're going to pull back. And then these guys are going to throw 2 spite javelins at your medium cavalry. Here we go.
When you're throwing 2, that's not spite.
Well, yes, that's a full-on volley. Here we go.
That's right. That's proper missile combat.
Ah. Alright, nothing there. Back to you.
To counterattack that order,
Ah.
3 units on my left. Those 3.
So this rematch is now officially 100% longer than the last one.
The Sacred Band going after the mediums. 4 dice.
And there they are. Good job. Okay.
And I'll confess that we probably blinked a little bit. We probably could have done this super fast.
That's yeah. Oh no, I think I think both of us were like, I'm going to protect the Spartans a little bit, you know. But with that double time card on the last one, I had to, because I knew if nothing else, I was going to get in your face and grind you into powder. It was good. Very, very good. All right. Well, I think the last one was what, 4-1. This one's 4-0. So you're right. This is a completely lopsided scenario in favor of the Thebans, but
that's history.
that is history, you know. And we make the best of what cards we were given. The battle lines were set up historically, and those 2 heavy units plus the Sacred Band. I mean, that is just a force to be reckoned with, without a doubt. But well, next week then we will see if the Spartans can exact some measure of retribution on the Thebans for such an embarrassment on the field.
So where do we go next week then?
I believe that is called. Let's see. That one is called Mantinea. Mantinea, and I think it's a few years after this. So there has been some laying low and some rebuilding between the from the Spartan side, and then they will come at the Thebans again and see if they can. It'll be better this time, I swear. But I think when I was reading the history, I think that's where I think Cleombrotus dies in that one.
No, he died.
No, he died in this one. So maybe it's Epaminondas that falls in that one. Somebody, I think both of them end up dying, one in each scenario, as I recall, from what I saw. But yeah, wow. This one, I'm not even upset about this one. It is what it is. It's hey, let's get together for 5 minutes and play some Commands and Colors.
So 562 BC, and this was what? 571 BC. Yes.
No, 371.
371.
Yes. Yeah.
So 362. So yeah.
Yeah. So it's about 9. So they lay low for about 10 years, and then they come back for a follow up. Yeah, and this one is let's see, we were at 460 something last time, so we've jumped forward 100 years since the battles with Persia. Well, I enjoyed this. I mean, quick, simple, easy. You know, I can't complain. It's still a good night of gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Too short, but that just leaves us wanting more for next week.
There you go.
Yes. Well, thanks for doing the research on this one. I will.
If you're so inclined and haven't watched already, since you're done with this episode, you might want to check out Patrick's Civil War action.
Yes. Have you ever wanted to play the great campaigns of the American Civil War? Well, some people have, and I've got a few videos out there for learning how to play, and we're also doing a series playthrough of that one. We're actually starting a new game in the series. But yeah, just click on the links here or subscribe to the channel, and you will find out all about it. And we've got playlists, uh, and we would love to hear your comments either there or here on these videos. We're getting some really good. I don't know if you saw the ones where somebody commented last week about how I paid for my paid for my striking too fast or for my aggressiveness, and that you slapped me down pretty good because I was overly aggressive. That's probably right. That sounds about right. Either you did or the dice did. Any final thoughts?
No, like I said, this one is very cut and dry.
It is.
It follows history pretty close and makes for a brief scenario.
Also, I don't know if I would use this as an introductory scenario unless you were really pressed for time, but there's certainly nothing here that is too overwhelming for a new player, and you could always give them the Thebans. So if you wanted to teach a youngin how to play, and they were maybe 10, 11, or 12, and you want to get them into the hobby, this might be a good one because they can exact all kinds of merry hell on on the parental unit by beating up on the Spartans.
And nothing inspires a new gamer like decisive victory.
Exactly. Blood! We shall have blood this evening! Cool. Well, thank you very much, and on behalf of Peter and Patrick, we will see you all next week. Have a good weekend.
You too. Good night.
All right, take care.